Algebra 1 class. It's our first YouTube video, and I've been really technically challenged because my camera battery won't charge. I'm having trouble loading things onto YouTube. So I'm using my iPhone, so the quality won't be good until I figure out how to get my camera working. We're going to do lesson 49, and I wanted to get this out to you yesterday, but I had too many technical problems, so you'll have to listen to it today. We're doing lesson 49, multiplication of polynomials. This is a really, really important lesson. This is where we're going to learn the concept that you'll never forget called FOIL. If you remember the word FOIL, you'll be able to do this, multiplying polynomials. So we're going to start out by multiplying. You'll notice these are two binomials. And I have to talk really fast because YouTube only lets you upload 10 minutes at a time. So we're going to multiply two binomials together. They have two terms each. And this is when we're going to use the concept of FOIL, but it's a binomial times a binomial. So let's look at what FOIL means. FOIL is F for first, O for outer, I for inner, and L for last. Well, that probably doesn't mean anything to you either. So we have to talk about this, and it's so much easier if we were in class because then I could do the pointing method. But first, F for first, means you're going to multiply together the first terms in each polynomial, in each binomial. So this is our first terms in each one, and that's our F. So we multiply our first terms together, and we get 3x times 4x is 12x squared. That's our first, F first terms in each binomial. Now we do our outer. Here's our outer, the outer ones. So we're going to take 3x times negative 1. This is our outer, and that's minus 3x. Then I is for inner. So we're going to multiply the ones that are inside. See, these are outside, these are inside. So we're going to multiply the inside, that's our inner, and we would get plus 8x. And then the L stands for the last. So if these were the first ones in each binomial, then these are the last. So we would multiply 2 times negative 1, and we get negative 2, and that's the last. So you almost have it here. We multiply the two binomials, but we need to simplify. Usually the middle two are like terms, and we can combine them together. And so we're going to get 12x squared plus 5x minus 2. And that would be how you multiply two binomials. So here is one, in case you can't read it because the camera's so bad. It's 4x plus 5 times the quantity 3x minus 2. So turn the video off, not Noah. Turn the video off and then come back and see how you do this. Okay, hopefully it worked for you and you were able to figure it out. So I'm going to do it for you real quick. We're going to do our first terms. The first ones in each one is 12x squared. The outer ones are this one, the outer, first, outer would be 4x times minus 2 is minus 8x. The inner terms, that would be the ones inside, 5 times 3x is 15x. And then finally the last terms in each binomial, 5 times minus 2 is minus 10. So we get 12x squared plus 7x minus 10. We have to combine our like terms. If you didn't get this, the beauty of the video is you can go back and see how I did it and try it again. Just remember the first terms, the outer terms, the inner terms, and the last terms is FOIL. So let's try a different type of problem. This one is 2x minus 3 quantity squared. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to say 4x squared minus 9. That is very, 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 very bad. Don't want to do that. What this is saying is it's 2x minus 3 squared. So you're going to take this times itself. Just as if we took 4 squared, it would be 4 times 4. This whole quantity is squared, so it's going to be 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. I'm going to teach you a trick for doing these later, but for right now we're just going to use the FOIL method. So we do the same thing. We do first. So here we go. Our first terms, the first ones in each binomial, is 4x squared. And of course you don't have to write these little loopy things with the letters in them. That's just to teach you what to do. First, then your outer terms is minus 6x. Your inner terms is minus 6x. And your last terms, minus 3 times minus 3 is plus 9. Now whenever you have this quantity squared, you're going to notice that these two things are going to be the same, and we'll talk about that later. So we'll combine those, so we get 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. And this is going to be called, which we'll get to later, is called a perfect square trinomial. And because this is a perfect square, and this is a perfect square, and there's some things inside that make it perfect square. So just keep that in mind. Okay, you're going to try this one, so you're going to turn the camera off now and try it and come back and whenever you're done. Remember, like we do it in class, I have you guys work one and you see if you can get it. So do this, turn it off, try this problem, and then turn it back on and see if you got it. Alright, hopefully you got it. Let's see if you did. Remember this whole thing, it's 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2, and we FOIL. First would be 9x squared. Sometimes we'll do it with our fingers. First, outer, inner, last. So we go first, outer, inner, last, but we'll practice that class. So we get 3x times 3x is 9x squared. The outer, the outside ones would be plus 6x. The inside is plus 6x. And the last is plus 4. Combine the middle terms, you can see that they're the same. When it's a quantity squared, they're going to be the same. So you get 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. Perfect square trinomial. Okay, one last thing. These are multiplying binomials times binomials. This ends up being a binomial times a binomial. But the lesson title is multiplying polynomials. So we're going to move over here, and we're going to multiply a binomial. I just erased my problem. A binomial times a trinomial. So here's our binomial. It's a second degree binomial because it's the highest degree is 2 times a trinomial. Now there's two different ways to do this. You can either take the 2x squared times all three of these, and then take the minus 5 times all three of these. Or you can use my preferred method, and I'll show you that. You write the biggest one on top, 3x squared minus 3x plus 1, and you write the smaller one underneath it. And then we're going to do it like a multiplication problem like you learned a long time ago when you learned multiplication. We're going to take the minus 5. We're essentially doing the same thing. We're going to take the minus 5 times all three of these, and we're going to take the 2x squared times all three of these, and then we're going to combine our like terms. So minus 5 times 1 is minus 5. Minus 5 times minus 3x is plus 15x. You have to put the sign there. Minus 5 times x squared is 5x squared. Then we take the 2x squared times all three of these, and we're going to line them up where they match. And that way you don't have to worry about figuring out which ones are like terms. So we get 2x squared times 1 is 2x squared. And where would I put that? I would put it under the 5x squared because they're like terms. So you get 2x squared. 2x squared times minus 10 would be minus, 2x squared times minus 3x would be minus 6x squared. We need that plus. Whoops, x cubed. And then we'd have 2x squared times x squared would be 2x to the 4th. These, usually they line up a lot better. This one didn't because we had an x squared here. So I just took this, the main thing is you want to line up your like terms. So I took negative 5 times all three of these, 2x squared times all three of these, and now I'm just going to add them straight down. So we get minus 5 plus 15x plus, we're never going to carry on these, 10x squared, so it doesn't matter what order we go in, and 2x to the 4th. And that's how we multiply this binomial times a trinomial. My time is about up. Now how much time do I have?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. So I'm not going to have time to do another example, but just look back in the video when you do your homework and see if you can get these. I'll get the other video out as soon as I can. Bye.